is George Washington here at the 42 C Street Northwest, P.O. Box 876. That's Kenneth W. Chadwick. Bar Association is 33509. Mr. Annual Washington Prosecutor. We just called and faxed all the information from here. The George Washington House and the Administration Office. The axe and the murder weapons here from Findlay, Washington, in Kennewick, Washington, where they try to chop your body up in pieces, toss you out, put you in the crematorium at Mueller's Spring Home and flush you down a toilet and make you disappear. Service they have for administration. I'm going to get the hatchet, the axe, and then here at the George Washington House, where they have gallows, where they hung people for administration of George Washington House, Federal Courthouse, Washington State Court, Superior Court, Grand County Courthouse. Melissa Light, Larissa Perez, Mr. Bob Percucci, Matt Hope, Kurt Sling, Human Resources. So what the hell? These administrations have they give rules. I have gallows here at the George Washington Administration Office processing criminal convicts, murderers, child molesters, rapists, convicted felons, habitual offenders, criminals, convicts, and Caliphate, that's California, Mr. Don Trump testifying that, Mr. Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor. Taliban members and also ISIS cell members, Shiites, Northern Province, and also Mr. James Maddox, Mr. Sons. These are pretty much criminal convicts. From Guantanamo Bay, Pakistan, Shiites, Iran, Afghanistan, Kabul. And Kabul is Afghanistan. Central Hub Center for Pasco Airport, and also Kennedy's Airport, LAX, and their service centers and the street buses. Mr. Colin Powell, Mr. Don Rumsfeld, Secretary of State, and Mr. Colin Powell, where he moved in duty during the process of Mr. John F. Kennedy's murder, assassination. He went to war, and then John F. Kennedy, he moved in position, and they executed him. But they went to war. This axe, symbolic value of this axe. This axe is pretty sharp, accurate. Named for the necessary for chopping Felix Barela's body up into. But they didn't know he could swim, and they didn't know they tried drowning him, of course. Over at the Y with administration office, and her name's Maria. Mrs. Kent Weymouth and Mary, and also Liz Cheney, and the President's Primary Election Family Election, and that's the book. Donald Rumsfeld, Mr. Colin Powell, and also John F. Kennedy, and also Mr. 45th President, Donald Trump. And Mrs. Vok, and also Tiffany, and Vok, Service Center, Administration of Melania Trump, and also Vok's mother, original mother, where I was attacked on Wall Street on the sidewalk, and attacked here in Ithello, attacked here in the Freda courtroom and court services and increments in the City Hall Administration Office. We've got the weapon right here. We'll go to the fire department. We'll take the axe, double-blade Michigan blade, 3.5 weight. This one is a single blade, and as you can see, there's the job. There's the job. First imprint was when Brooks was here. We got this imprint right here. Now we got the second imprint on the second part. September 11th, the other side of the building, the other side, east of the side building, and then there's the west side, south side of the building, north side building, and where they put entrance and entrance ways serves a fabrication and the services they implemented for their COVID-19 policy regulations. Administration office for COVID-19 policy. Now the gallows here for hanging criminal convicts, and also the Revolution War, Abraham Lincoln. Revolution War, Abraham Lincoln himself, but bring it to his predecessor, his increments to society administration office, his COVID-19 policy regulation. And this axe, another angle at this axe, carrying the COVID-19 policy, and, chopping the body of Felix Barela and getting rid of his hands, his body, his face recognition, fingerprints. They figure that they can get rid of the diamonds, get rid of the wedding rings, the UBI numbers. Go to a jail facility like Geronimo. Geronimo's hands were pulled out of a. Pulled out of a food slot, and they cut his hands off. The operation and service to them COVID-19, tossing his body out to South Dakota, Sioux location. Said he ran through the rocks and couldn't find him anyway. Put him in food slot, chop his hand off, and they just make things up. Go figure. It's George Washington. You got artifacts. Andrew Miller watched that prosecute. You got artifacts everywhere. And this tree, symbolic. We cut the trees out. I'm afraid we cut the trees in the backyard justice department. Cut this tree down. What place smells like me? Because they can see. Baseball field, a basketball field. Also the University Administration Office. Take angles of all of the increments of society, because what they're trying to race, we're to get rid of. You go to any bank, you go to the courthouse, you go to the Social Security office in Kennel, engage, but it's called Klamath, Cincinnati. 8131 Klamath, Cincinnati, on Ridgeway, Grand Ridge, Columbia Center Boulevard, 1021 Red Robin, Kavanaugh's, Chief Justice, Mr. Kavanaugh, Mr. Donald Trump. We have to drive Donald Trump all the way to Kavanaugh's, which is Red Line, and Columbia Center Boulevard. U.S. Bank, Bank of America, with U.S. Bank administration process in 8131 Klamath, Cincinnati, Grand Ridge, and Columbia Center Boulevard, and merging into administration office. COVID-19 policy. We're going to get some face recognition, eyeball recognition. We're trying to get rid of everything. What they get angles on, what they promote. Notice the truck's gone. The truck's not here. There's a Raptor from Ford Bud Clary. And that Raptor is very expensive. Very expensive. Service they applied this administration office. COVID-19 policy regulators. They like to make things up and fabricate things like Boise Cascade Pulp Mill in Pasco, Washington. United States Air Force comes in there and fixes their equipment called Hilti. So, get some angles on that. Growing their trees for years and years, making money, casinos, checkbooks, arraignment services, net pay. Mr. James Norman Manus and Mr. Miley, objection, want him to resign. Go figure. So we got this axe right here. We made symbolic increments of this right here. George White's house has this gigantic incrementation of Mr. Coleman Powell's face. Coleman Powell has his administration office, his service and increments of society. Since COVID-19 and the writing and services moved into information society, thinking they can latch on to Donald Trump and drag him down into the beds of the mist and put him at Mueller's funeral in caskets, urns, concrete liners, Pentagon administration office. Rest Havens, 21 gun salute to the honored enemies and Purple Hearts, and also Bronze Stars. And increments to the society of the NATO Armor and Image Services reflect on whatever they're trying to erase. This beautiful axe, this axe, symbolic. These are gallows where they hang people for crimes, and they could crimes they couldn't defend themselves with, and they just hang them. See, you need all the evidence in the hands, coordination, eyeballs, fingernail prints, signatures, writing, speaking, voice recognition, iris registration on your service, of face recognition. See. Crooked society here. Immediate 20, George Washington. And definitely, I don't have afro on me, and I'm definitely not black. I'm not Negro, and I'm not a nigger, meaning down, fool, a down, nigger. A niggers of the niggers of the niggers of niggers. I don't fit the description at all. As you see the services, you see the basketball. You're in Mexico, downtown Mexico, and it says United States of America. And to speak English. See, that's Mexico. Mexico belongs to me. And there should be administration process of COVID-19. Mr. Donald Trump will recognize the services of this caliphate. Administration services of all these borders merged into a increment society of putting it into an area, location, where you're supposed to go to the doorway and go through the process. Not in 1 second out of the vagina into the increments of society. United States of America. Immediate families are being pulling apart. What are they trying to hide? Get an angle on that. Get an angle on that. So we're going to have to do that on angle-wise. We can go to every facility in the administration office. Every 50-yard dash, every basketball facility, every service I'm applying for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, implement on the 50-yard dash, and also the football college program, and also the master's and bachelor's degrees in ministry service in the increments of society, the swimming competition, Ironman competition, for that matter. Just make it known to the World Administration Office. Download all your increments of society. information and data. Social Security office getting all that. Gauge, on gauge, moved on gauge. Natural propane gas gauge of Vista Utilities. Van County Justifying Grunt Towers, Administration and Propane Services. UBI number, business UBI number 602-720-9. Cricket Society. See all these convictions, these nooses, these gallows, these legal justice, this isn't supreme justice. Any bank, any Federal Reserve you walk into, you crediting your information and make things up. And you get enough credibility and enough jury walking into anyone's office. Mr. Ajmer will walk over here and have an administration testimony of what they're trying to get rid of. Come here. That's a society. Real truth. Angle on that. All kinds of angles on that. Well, crooked society like run Felix Barela with the SUV Trailblazer and kill him. Purposely run him over on the oil company here in Chase Bank and U.S. Bank and Bank of America and also the Key Bank and the administrative process and the society where they witnessed testimony of running Felix Barela over and then chopping his body up in bankruptcy society here in Findlay, Washington, Lamb Western Washed Potato here in Connell, here in Oregon, Washington, Administration Office, COVID-19 Policy Regulation Service. You like getting rid of a lot of information. Why? Crooked society. Crooked society they got here. Maybe that marijuana cannabis outreach. A liquor license cannabis awareness service for their UBI number certification like that. Maybe that's what they're crooked society we got, huh? Crooked society we got going on here. That's handicap ramp, huh? Make a little bit of executive order. Saying wants to say prosecutor administration officer. It's all good. Let's download all this information. George Washington himself, Mr. Colin Powell, and his Conference Administration Office in the Middle of their fall of their September 11 monument service, which they really didn't do any damage at all. It just started a war, basically.